So you're having trouble breaking into this line of work. Nobody will hire you because you've got no experience. Nobody will bring you on, even working for free just to train you. It's just tough. It's a trial. It's a difficulty. But there's something good in that for you, and I want to share that with you this week. Hi, I'm Larry Kay with ShadowAnyone.com and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, Premium Private Investigator Training, from someone who's been there and done that. Here's the thing. The trial and difficulty you're going through is something that's going to expand your skills and abilities. If you don't give up, you will get better through this. And I want to make sure that I get this exactly right. The trial leads to better skills and opportunities. I will tell you, I don't know that he says it exactly in those words. I heard this or learned this concept specifically spelled out in John C. Maxwell's book, The 21 Most Powerful Minutes in a Leader's Day. A very good book. I don't get a dime for it. If you're interested, take a look. It's a very good book. But he spells it out in there, and specifically the quote he has in there on page 43 is that trials and opportunities, and he gives a very specific example, a biblical example actually, Joseph from the Old Testament, if you're familiar. But John Maxwell explains that the trials that he went through were, quote, the key to every other opportunity, unquote, that Joseph encountered. And this is key. The trials that you're going through are the key to every other opportunity you're going to have. I can tell you give you a very specific example here in the private investigator world for me is running license plates. Now, back when I was new in the industry, really just kind of associated with it by way of security, the company that I worked for, and one guy in particular, he was able to run license plates. And this fascinated me. And if we had a problem or a thing, we'd take down the plate numbers and give it to him. He was able to run these plates and find out who the registered owner of the vehicle was. And I was fairly close to this guy. I worked for him, but still it felt like, yeah, you're my buddy. And he really did look out for me as a boss. It gave me the best equipment, the best car, the best assignments, everything. And I like to think that I earned those things as well. But we were basically tight. And I went to him one day and said, how do you run license plates? Is that something that anybody can do, or do you have to have a special contact, or what's the deal? And he looked at me and said, you got to have a special contact. Oh, okay. And I took him at his word on that. I wasn't sure, but okay, that's the way it is. Back then, at that time, you did not need a special contact. You did not need special access. It was public record back then. Anybody could go down to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles with $1.25 in their hand and slide a license plate on a napkin across the counter to them, and they would tell you they would give you a printout, an abstract of the vehicle is what they would give you, abstract of registration, telling you who it was registered to and their address and other little things. Anybody could do this. Yet here was a guy who I was kind of close to, who knew the secret, and he would not share it with me. And don't get me wrong, when I finally learned how to do it, I didn't tell anybody. Nope, I'll take care of that for you. Don't worry. Don't you worry your pretty little head. I'll run that tag for you. But I was not about to tell anybody that this is a problem that they could solve on their own with 5 quarters, So, and that's the thing about what we do, right? A lot of what we do is not difficult, but it is secret. And we're just not sharing those secrets with people, right? Not unless you get real paid training from someone, and then they are obligated to share them with you. You're paying for it. But my point is, and I went through these trials. I went through the learning process myself, and I probably went another year or more before I learned to run license plates. And how did I learn? How did I learn? It was through a trial, a difficulty. Someone I knew was actually being stalked, and at one point they managed to get the license plate number of the car, and now it was personal. Now it was important. Now it was someone that I love is in danger, and I figured out how to run the license plate, and I ended up learning at the time it's public record, and I could go get it for myself. For years, though, it was I didn't know how, and I thought everybody would tell you you need a special source. Until I met with that trial, that difficulty, that's when I pushed the limits and figured it out. And so my lesson for you here today, or the thought I want you to take with you, is if you're having troubles, difficulties, especially trying to get into this industry, just know that that's going to, if you push through, it's going to make you stronger and better. Stronger and better than the next guy. And if you're trying to make a living doing this, that's really important, because you're going to be in competition with these people as well. And I just throw in a little caveat. The other investigators in your town, the people that you know, will also be your friends. You can also call them up and talk to them. And especially if you're a member of like a state association, you're going to know these people and meet with them regularly. But the point is, you still, when you face these trials and tribulations, that's when you get the chance to excel and become a better person, a better investigator. This is Larry K with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.